Hello everybody, beautiful day today, and let's pick up where we left off. So I hope that many of you were able to listen to that first video. I know it was 45 minutes long, but it was jam-packed with some information in there, and I did get to read to you guys a money meditation by Louise Hay. I want to start off with another one by Louise Hay, and this one is talking about how money can be one of my best friends. Money is one of the easiest things to demonstrate, right? Now that statement can either light you up or it can make you cower, right? Money is one of the easiest things to demonstrate. And why is that? Because maybe it's not easy for you. Maybe it's never been easy for you to bring in money. Or maybe you're at a point where you've been so defeated that money was not an object before, but now it is, right? So, especially if we're having money worries right now, that statement can come across as, right? You're either excited to talk about money or you kind of backpedal away and you don't want to talk about money. Now, our beliefs about money are so ingrained in us that it's hard to talk about them without a lot of emotion coming up. And sometimes we go back to a first memory regarding money, and that can be someone saying, hey, I can't afford this anymore. We're gonna have to stop doing piano lessons or soccer or, you know, whatever it is, cheerleading. If you're somebody who had that kind of moment, like, that sticks with you, right? So it's hard to talk about money without a lot of emotion coming up. It's probably a lot easier to talk about a sex workshop than a money workshop. Sex we can all get behind, most of us, majority of us. So, but when it comes to money, there's just that little, it's like a finger on the trigger, right? So let's be aware of how we really feel about money. And I know we did some questions that were posted in the Ascension Light Warriors group. We did some questions for journaling, and we did a little bit of clearing here and there. Now I want you to take that a little bit deeper. Let's see how we really feel about money on the subconscious level, right? So here is a thing that you can do. Go into your bathroom, go to the mirror, pull out your phone, record a video, and ask yourself, or say to yourself, make this statement: my biggest worry in respect to money is what? Just let that flow out. My biggest worry in respect to money is maintaining, keeping it rolling in. My biggest worry with respect to money is maintaining. I don't know. So what you're going to do is just relax and let whatever comes up flow. Boom. What is it? Don't think too hard on it. It's whatever comes up. Say that. Okay. Now, maybe you're going to hear something like, my biggest worry with respect to money is I don't trust myself with it, or I can't take care of myself, or I can't meet all of my needs, right? Listen to what comes down, listen to what comes up, and write it down. That there is just something so powerful about taking it from here and letting it come out, putting it onto paper. It's part of your throat chakra. When you can get it out of here and on paper, you're making that statement. You're bringing it to life. You're giving it life, basically, right? And that will really help with your throat chakra if that's an area that you need help with, right? So listen to what comes up and write it down. You may find yourself saying, whoa, look at this crap I believe about money. No wonder I'm not having the prosperity that I want. Become aware of what belief is blocking your flow of money, and that's what we're going to get into a little bit more today. What belief is really blocking our flow of money? And then we're going to begin to change that belief by reprogramming, retelling us, you know, what we should say. So instead of the thought that says, I'm going to starve without money, you can begin to love yourself with new thoughts like, I'm safe in this universe. Everything I need is provided for. I now give myself permission to have a good income. okay? Money can be one of my best friends. That's what we're going to tell ourselves now. Money is one of our best friends. So here is today's action item, right? If you have not completed the first video or the questions, I think there's 2 or 3 sets of questions in the Ascension Light Warriors group. If you haven't done that, go back and do those. Those are really for your benefit. You don't have to share those with me. You don't have to share those on the Facebook page at all, or Facebook group at all. These are for you, but it's very helpful if you actually do it. Just listening to me talk isn't going to help heal that wound. You have to actually go through and do these practices. So what I want you to do is write a letter to money. And I'm sharing my letter to money also. And this is where our money mindset begins. This is where you have permission to dream, not just dream, but to believe it, right? Because you're limitless. What we can create, limitless. We put that block on ourselves. We do it, all right? Now, if you're somebody who has been programmed or taught that money doesn't grow on trees, you got to save money to make money, save it for a rainy day, blah, 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 blah. Like, you've probably been hearing stuff like that since you were yay high, right? So that's a lot of manifesting in a negative mindset, in a limited belief mindset. That's a lot. And depending on how young or years you have behind you will influence how that turnaround comes for you, right? But the quickest way to turn that around is to dig deep into yourself to find out when, where, why, how, who, all those questions. How does it relate to money with you? When was the first time you were introduced to a limiting belief about money? Where did that take place? Who was it, right? Did this come from your mother, from your father? Is it ancestral? Is it just within you? And then let's change that. So write a letter to money as if money were a person, as if money was your long lost love and you want it back. Write that letter to money. And you'll see mine in a separate post comment, in a separate post. I'm going to post that. But I want to tell you about my relationship with money and how I became to manifest without even knowing that's what I was doing. So I told you in my last video that growing up, one thing that was always drilled into us was if we had a skill set, we had a way of making money. If we had a hobby, if we could provide a need, a valuable need for other people, we had a way of making money. So for us, for the women, for the girls, it was knowing how to paint, knowing how to cook, knowing how to decorate cakes, knowing how to be a cake decorator, knowing how to sew, knowing how to craft. And all of those things I saw my mom doing. She taught it to us, and we were never without money. If we needed something, she would go and create something, sew something, for other people, things that other people didn't want to do or didn't know how to do. She was doing it, and we always had what we needed. So I think it was 11 or 12 years ago is when I really started paying attention. And I told you that when The Secret first came out, my mom sat us all down and we watched that. And she had us really into the words that we spoke, because words are very powerful. We know this. And learning to embrace that years ago when nobody else was embracing that, you kind of got those cuckoo looks, right? But it's true, and it's here now, right? That's what I'm talking about. It's here now, out in the open. Everybody's doing it. So if you were in a mindset of lack from a young age to now you're ready to change it, I need you to comprehend, understand, accept that there is going to be a delay. Just like when we do live videos, We have like a 10-15 second delay between what I say to you and when you actually hear it, or when you type a response to me and when I actually see it, right? Know that there's going to be a lag time. You're not just going to start saying these mantras, writing your letter to money, and boom, instant turnaround. Although, I will say, if you have this belief, this inner conviction, this inner knowing, and your vibration is high, and how do we get that vibration high? Love and gratitude, 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 gratitude. That will raise your vibration quicker than anything. And if you can hold that while being grounded to the earth, while being grounded here in this reality, and hold that high vibration and bring it into you, you're going to see what I'm talking about when it comes to manifesting and when it comes to creating your reality. All right. So about 10-12 years ago, I was invited to sit down and listen to a direct sales consultant talk. And I was just going for my friend because they wanted warm bodies. I was just there to fill a chair, okay? But something clicked inside of me when I heard her speaking. And she looked like me. She wasn't a supermodel. She wasn't beautiful. She wasn't somebody who, this is a limiting belief, only pretty people get that attention, only blah, blah, blah. You got to look good to get the part. You know, she wasn't any of that. So I identified with her really quickly, and I listened to her story. And I have to tell you, and this is why lives and making videos are so important to me, because the way we speak, it's a frequency, it's a sound. And if you're meant to hear what I'm saying, you're gonna hear it deep, deep within. It's gonna resonate with you. You're gonna get chill bumps. That's an activation that's happening, that's taking place. And that's what happened to me. I was listening to her talk about this product and how she came to love it, and how she just had it sitting there and other people were just fascinated by it. And so she was selling them and selling them and selling them. She was like, wow, I really have a hot item on my hands. This is something. Let me see what I can actually do with it if I start educating people on it, if I start talking about it, if I start sharing why I love it, and if I start giving testimonies on why everybody else is loving it and buying it. And it's when she said that she had close to a $10,000 month that my eyes said, huh? My ears said, what? And I leaned in a little bit. That's body language, you guys. That is speaking to me. That is activating something within me. So I heard everything that needed to be done, and you know what it was? Word of mouth, speaking, talking, that frequency in our voice. That's all she was doing, was sharing about this product, and people were buying into it, and people were, fabulous product. But for me, I wanted to bring in income. We were a military family living paycheck to paycheck. If you're a military family, you know how that goes. And I told you before that I was sewing at the moment, or at that time. I was sewing, I was making purses, I was sewing diaper bags, I was sewing baby clothes. Like, I had the whole everything. And I was making good money. At that point, I was bringing in between $4,000 and $6,000 a month. But I was chained to my sewing machine, constantly working on custom orders, right? That if I took a break, I would get behind and da-da-da-da-da. And sometimes I had to close up shop just so I could catch up. I couldn't take in any more orders. But one thing that stuck out from me when I was sitting there was, if she can do it, I can do it. I know that mindset. I know that determination. I know how to share. I know how to give my opinion on things. And really, it was being an influencer before being an influencer was cool. And if you think about it, we are all influencers. If you're in this group, it's because somebody shared it with you. If you are watching this video, it's because you resonate with something that I'm saying to you, right? So I need to tell you right now, we all have it in us to manifest and to bring in abundance and wealth at any given moment into our life. What is going to stop you is doubt. What is going to stop you is fear. What is going to stop you is rejection, resentment, all of these low vibrating energies that don't want you to get up and moving and going and sharing your light and love and whatever you're going to do with that abundance of money. So doubt is going to push your dream out of alignment with you. Don't let it. Don't invite it in. If doubt comes into your mind, I want you to flip it around. And that's what we practiced in the last video, was taking those limiting beliefs and asking, how can this be true? How is this true for me? How can I change this to be a positive thing? And that's what you're going to do. Now, how is it going to come? Well, your job is to dream it and believe it. Dream it and believe it. How is it going to come? It says Olivia's story. I don't remember what Olivia's story is for me, but let's see. Thoughts, yes. Thoughts and ideas that are running in the forefront of your mind will become your life. They will just become your life. So if you have been, I call it stinking thinking, if you've been in a stinking thinking, low vibrating energy, blah, 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 take a look around you. Does that reflect your thoughts? Does your reality reflect your thoughts? Okay, your beliefs, what you believe about money, what you think about money, that is your energetic signature. That is your frequency, right? Like you can tell when somebody's hyped up and in a good mood and da-da-da-da-da, like that energetic frequency that they're carrying is just everywhere. And when they're low vibrating, depressed, feeling yuck, you can see that in also how they retreat, how they're not as responsive, how they're not as detailed, and all of that. So your life is made up of your thoughts, right? Your thoughts give life to the world around you. That creates your reality. So if you got that stinking thinking, I'm going to tell you right now, you are your block. Get out of your own way. And how are we going to do that? How are we going to change that? The first thing that comes up to my mind, if you're not familiar with him, is Archangel Metatron. And he is there to help you bring change. If you have a negative thought, he's going to on your ear and be like, change that thought right now. Recreate that thought, because what you're pushing out is what is coming to you. So get in the habit of listening to what you're actually thinking and what's actually coming out of your mouth and what you want, because we need that all to align. You need that super belief, that unknowing, unwavering, blinded faith and belief. And I say this all the time, and it's a quote on Dolores Cannon. Earth is a school. We are here to master our emotions, and we are here to master our thoughts, because once we do that, man, it's like Fantasia. You are literally creating your reality. So how do we change that? Remember I told you that my mom had us watching The Secret, and we had to start paying attention to the words that we were using. So some words that create that lack mentality, that create that blockage in your flow is I want, because you're telling the universe that you want to stay wanting. We don't want to stay wanting. We want to have it, right? So I want, I wish is the dream before it becomes reality. It's nothing without action. I wish. Is the other one. I can't. No, there is no I can't. I'll try. And this is one that I still have to get out of my mindset. I'll try, or I'm trying, because I'm telling the universe that I just want to be on a hamster wheel. I'm trying to get off, but I'm on a hamster wheel. Try is not doing. I hope we should have hope, definitely. But if you're just constantly hoping, that's like you're wishing still. Where's the action? I should do that, but I'm not. Should, shoulda, woulda, coulda, these are not words for our vocabulary. And my parents, my dad's personal favorite, I don't know. How are you gonna make that money? I don't know. How are you gonna make that car payment? I don't know. Lack of mentality, guys. That was my dad's favorite thing to get out of my head, was that answer, I don't know. So what do we do instead? I don't want, I create. I don't wish, I don't hope, I am. It's not I can't, it's not I'll try, it's being grateful, it's that gratitude, it's that love. Instead of I should, it's I choose, right? It's just a matter of perspective, and listen to that energy behind it, right? Let's go again. I want, I can't, I'll try, I should. Look at my body language when I say that versus I create, I am grateful, I am love, I choose. Those are all power statements, and you can see it in how it flows out of me. That frequency, that vibration. Do you understand that? Do you see that? Play it, pause and play it back. There is such a difference in the way our body responds to those words. And there's a difference in the way the universe is going to respond to those words as well. Okay? So we've got to unlearn all the gunky crap that we have learned, that we've picked up, that we've taken as our own along the way, because those are the limiting beliefs, right? That's what's hindering our growth. That's what's hindering our abundance. That's what's hindering the flow. Remember in the last video I talked about the plumbing, right? The pipes in the plumbing having the gunkity gunk, because it's got all that build up and we haven't removed it from our system, so it's clogging our connection. It's clogging our abundance flow to come in. So you got to reprogram, you got to relearn what you've already learned, get that out of your head. Grab that bull. I think of Taurus when I think of this right now, because Taurus are all about the comforts in life, feeling good, abundance, wealth, and sharing that wealth. So I'm Taurus moon, Taurus rising. So I say you got to grab that bull by the horns and flip the script. You're not broke. You are a freaking badass manifester, and you got to believe that. You're not in bad times. You are not. You are freaking learning. You are growing. You are grateful for the lesson that comes with being here, right? One thing I was telling a friend of mine, asked me how, I don't remember the conversation totally, but my response to him was that I learn more in these rock bottom moments than I ever do when I'm on the mountaintop. I learn more in those rock bottom than mountaintops. Although mountaintops are my destination, it's those moments where we fall, those tower moments, where rock bottom shows you the freaking lesson that you can't see sometimes when you're on the mountaintop, right? So just another reminder, do not take on other people's realities or limiting beliefs as your own. Don't do it. And this is really important, guys. And if you followed me for any amount of time, or you're on my Facebook page or anything, the moment that we are listening to somebody else's story, and it could be a heartbreak story or a devastating story or a low limiting belief story, and the moment you identify with that, the moment you feel an emotion in their words, and I'm talking about like tearful, sadness, a low vibrating emotion, the moment you feel that, you have brought that into your energy field, okay? You have brought that into your reality the minute you resonate with that. And what you need to do is clear that ASAP, because that is one way that you are carrying another signature print energy-wise that does not belong to you, that's kind of like hijacked onto you, hitchhiked with you, right? So really quickly, if this happens to you, I want you to do Hooponopono. And we'll talk about Hooponopono is such a powerful mantra, so powerful, and it is so simple. It is, thank you, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me. Those 4 lines, whatever order you feel them to be. It is, thank you for bringing this to my attention. I love you for giving me the opportunity to clear this. I'm sorry that I didn't realize this before. Please forgive me for bringing this into my energy field. Please forgive me for this reality that came through. And that's it. You say that 7 times. You say that 7 times from your heart. Take some deep breaths, and that's it. Okay? If you're here listening, you're here for more. You're here for change. You are here to dream a new reality of abundance in all areas of your life. And guess what, guys? It starts with you. It starts with you. It is time to retrain your brain to think abundantly, to have vocabulary of abundance, right? To be in alignment with that energetic signature of wealth, of health, of abundance, of vitality, of what you are here to co-create, of why you are here. It is time to bring that in to fruition in your life. Okay. One thing that when I'm talking about energy frequency and energy signature, because we each have our own unique energy signature, and I used to collect those precious moments figurines, right? And a lot of times you'll hear me talking about cut out the excess noise, turn off that outside noise. That's the negative talk. But I'm reminded of this figurine from Precious Moments where she's with a goose or something, and it says make a joyful noise. Well, that joyful noise is you. You are the joy. You are the abundance. You are the high vibrating energy. You are that joyful noise. That's your energetic frequency. Make that happen. Don't be in low vibrating energy. Make the joyful noise, right? So here's another thing about money, and it's part of a limiting belief where people say that money is the root of all evil, or money follows money, or you should have been born into another family. Like, I've heard that growing up, and that's all bullshit, you guys. It's crap. It's limited thinking. It's probably something somebody else said to that person, and that's all their brain can think is to say that back. But this life, it requires money. If we want things, it requires money. Think of it as a freaking video game. And I can't think of the video game name that my daughter plays, but you literally have to go in and do little jobs and do little things to bring in money it's life. It is the game of life. And that's what's here. What we're doing is mastering our emotions, mastering our thoughts, so that we can master this game called life, right? Now, we're going to need money. We need money to get the things that we want. So if expenses don't feel good to you, why is that? Why is that? If expenses don't feel good to you, and now let me tell you, I went and bought a truck back in April or May. Wasn't even thinking. I wasn't even looking at the piece of paper, the piece of paper in the windshield. I just said, I need a vehicle. I like this vehicle. It runs. It's got low mileage. Let's go. It was an as is. The minute I drove off the lot, I was like, I need new tires, right? And I was like, I would just put so much money down, but I need new tires. And I was like, But in that moment, Archangel Metatron, Trisha Lewis, we are not like this. We are not thinking negatively. And I was like, I got a new vehicle. I need new tires. I had to change it around. And guess what? The minute I changed it around and I got my tires, and I remember mentioning it to a family member that I need to go get new tires. I'm going to be traveling, blah, blah, blah. And guess what? My positive attitude and my positive energy, yes, I still had to pay for those tires, but I didn't pay for all of them. She was like, here you go. I know that you've needed this, blah, blah, blah. Let me help you. Positive energy frequency. Put it out, put it out. Always put it out. The same concept goes with your bills, which we talked about that in the first video, right? If you are constantly shutting things down because you're worried about how high your bill is going to be, yes, that's okay. But also, how do you feel when you're making those bill payments? Are you happy? Are you like, because that used to be me. I used to be like, well, let's look at the damage we've done this month and da-da-da. It's not supposed to be like that. It's supposed to be, I got this money, let me pay my bills, right? I got the money to pay my bills and I feel great. And always be in that mindset. Look at me with my tires. I was like, I need new tires. I could have paid it all, but I changed it. I changed the signature. I changed the frequency. I changed the song in my voice to, I got a new truck. Let me get some new tires to go with it. And then boom, the universe blessed me, right? So I'm here to tell you, whenever you're like that cringy feeling is a block. Get out of it. No more cringe is allowed. Cringe is a block. We don't want that. We want to be in the energy of giving. And this is something that has been a part of me since I was knee-high to a grasshopper. I can remember going to across the border into Mexico, and you have the beggars on the street, and I always wanted to give my pesos because we always used to do the money exchange, and we were only given a little bit amount of pesos. I couldn't even tell you how. And I would always drop them into their cups, and every time my mom would hear the cling, Patricia, why are you doing that? They have money. They just da-da-da-da, right? No, they don't. Like, why would they be out here? And I see it now that I'm an adult. Yeah, sometimes it's just laziness. Yeah, sometimes it's that. But they're human. They're me. I am. We are one. I can't imagine that being me and me walking past myself and not trying to help myself, right? Can't do it. So any little bit helps. If you are paycheck to paycheck, be reasonable with what you give. Be reasonable. I don't mind paying for the coffee for the car behind me when I'm at Starbucks. That's what, $2 or $3? Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts, wherever it is, $2 or $3. I can remember being in high school and being at the grocery store, and this has just always been me. Being at the grocery store, there was an older man in front of me checking out, counting pennies, and he didn't have enough money to pay for it, and so he was going through and seeing what he could do without. He was getting, and he didn't have much, you guys. Like, he had some bread, some ham, eggs, pimento cheese spread. Like, it wasn't a lot. And I remember it was the pimento cheese bread for me, okay? Or the pimento cheese spread. That was the clincher for me, because he was putting that back. And that's just something that my family grew up on, and I was like, that's his comfort food. Like, you can't get away, you can't cut off your comfort food. So 18, 19 years old, and I looked at the cashier and I said, just ring up all his stuff, bag it up, let him go home with it, add it to my bill, and keep going. And the look on that man's face, he was like maybe 50s, mid 50s, and here I am, this young teen thing, and he couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe that I was doing something like that. But that's what I would do for anybody. Like, you have to see people as your father, as your uncle, as your grandpa. You can't just say, oh, it's some other person and they don't deserve it. No, that is somebody's, he's important to somebody. Anyway, I digress, but I've always had that in me, and I've always brought in what I need. I've always been able to bring in what I need. I've never been without, but I've also always given without regard or without thoughts of how I'm going to get it back, because the universe will bless you. You will receive it back. Not from that person, not from whoever you loan money from, and it doesn't have to be like that. Who you loan to doesn't have to be who pays you back. When you give without an expectation of receiving back, man, you are blessed tenfold. You are blessed tenfold from other avenues, from other areas. I just want you to know that. So be in the energy of giving, no matter where you are in your financial woes. Whether you drop a quarter on the ground and you're like, somebody could be blessed with that quarter. Because I've done that. Pennies, come on. I'm not going to bend over for a penny. At the same time, I'm going to be like, that's somebody else's angel wish. That's somebody else's good luck. I'm going to let them have that. There was a time when I pulled out $100 in cash. I was probably in my 20s. I pulled out $100 in cash and I put it inside my door. Like at the bottom there was this pocket, plastic, so it didn't even secure it. I put it inside my door, and when I opened my door to gas up or do whatever I needed to do, I lost it all. And I could have been devastated. I could have been. And I think I was for a moment, because I was like, ugh. But I just sat there and said, somebody else needed that more than I did. Someone else needed that more than I did. And I shared that story with a friend of mine later that evening, and they took care of my needs. But because I was grateful and I wasn't holding a grudge and I wasn't mad, like sometimes God uses you in ways that you don't even know you're being used to bless other people. And that's how I tend to look at stuff like that. And I've always looked at stuff that way. Okay. The energy of giving. Try to catch that. Try to get that wave. There's a book that I recently started reading, and it is by it's by Joe Vitale, and it's called Karmic Marketing. And I was reading it, and it's basically the same thing. You give to receive. You give to receive, but not with that mentality. It's just he was giving and he was receiving blessings at the same time. Okay, so where are we talking about? Action, action, action. You have to take action. You have to be in your thoughts. You have to write it down. Do that money practice in the mirror. What is holding you back? Really dig deep and find out what is holding you back. Then ask yourself, when was the first time I can remember having this belief? Who did I hear that from? Who taught me that? Where did this take place? What was going on in that moment? Why? And then, how can I turn that around? Archangel Metatron, how do I turn that limiting belief around? And remember, there's lag time. And remember, you have to have blind faith. And remember, you have to trust like the Dickens. You cannot. And when I say be in an energy of gratitude, because that's what's going to get you high vibing, I do a really quick, rapid gratitude, 60 seconds. I learned this from Alec Figueroa. For 60 seconds, just rapid fire. I am grateful for my children. I am grateful for this life. I am grateful for this abundance of blessings. I am grateful for this inner knowing. I am grateful for my breath every single day. I am grateful that the universe speaks to me. I am grateful that I have this connection. I am so grateful that I can bless so many people and share my journey and my story with others. And boom, I can already feel my heart expanding. Try it and see what happens for you. Okay. Write your letter to money as if it was a person. Now, take a few deep breaths, right? Deep breath in, hold it for a few seconds, and exhale. Feel yourself connecting to source. Every time you take a deep breath, you're just pulling source energy in, filling your lungs. And as you hold, you imagine all this wonderful healing light energy saying, let me do my job, let me do my job. You exhale, and it pushes any negative thoughts, any negative energy. It's going to heal to the cell level, your cellular level, and give it to Gaia. Push it out through your feet when you're exhaling, and fill your lungs back up. Just do that a couple of times, okay? And here's what I want you to say to yourself or say out loud. Write it down, because when we get it out of our thoughts and we write it down, there's magic in that, guys. I am one with divine light. I flourish in divine light. I am excited and overjoyed to earn money in everything I do. I see all my investments flourishing. I earn passive income. I am supported and guided by the universe in every decision I make, which then allows me to earn more wealth, to bless more people. I am powerfully and positively charged. I am a powerfully and positively charged money magnet. Okay? I love you guys so much. I am here for you if you have questions, and if you're not already part of the Ascension Light Warriors group on Facebook, join us. We love you.